Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, yesterday I hope you have learned the skill of introduction. Today shall we go to learn the very important skill of illustrating with examples. Illustrating with examples, right? The illustrating with examples is title itself tell you the meaning. Illustrating a concept with help of examples, right? So here the title itself tell you the meaning of the skill of illustrating with example means so illustrate a concept with a examples with the help of examples, right? So many times it happens in the classroom. We have experience with the classroom situations. Many times that a teacher explaining the lesson. So students are unable to understand the concept. So in that situation, teachers give the more and more explanation to the concept to clarify the concept or abstract ideas or mathematical rules or it is sometimes it is very difficult to convey the meaning of this concept. So in the situation, what teacher has to do? Teachers try to give the more and more explanation on the concept or abstract ideas or mathematical rule or scientific principles. So sometimes teachers will fail in the second attempt also. In such situation, skillful teachers handle this situation in the different way. So they try to give the numerous examples to clarify the concept. Numerous examples to clarify the concept or convey the meaning of abstract ideas. Naturally, the examples are, it is a most effective tools in the hands of the teacher to make the concept easier and simple to understand for the students. Right? So examples are, it is a most effective tools in the hands of the teachers make the concept easier or simple to understand for the students. Always examples are facilitate the learning. Examples are facilitate the learning. So that is why the illustrating the concept with an example. So teachers will select in this difficult situation. Right? Now let us see what is the illustration. What is the illustration? Illustration means process of making the concept clear. It is a process of making the concept clear. Here, so teachers in the difficulty situation or difficulty word, so they try to make the concept easier to understand for the students. So by using the example or by using the example or by giving the example or eliciting the example. Right? Yes, students. So now ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಂದು ತರಗತಿಯ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಸೊ the illustrating with example help to the students to clarify the concept. So we'll use the example to make the concept easier and simple to understand for the students, right? So examples for facilitate learning. An illustration means it is a process of making the concept clear. It is a process of making the concept clear. Illustration. ನಾವು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ವಿಶದೀಕರಿಸುವುದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ವಿಶದೀಕರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಅಮೂರ್ತ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ತತ್ವಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ವಿಶದೀಕರಿಸುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಟು the definition of illustrating with examples, right? So the skill of illustrating with examples means the selection and presentation of. So definition: the skill of illustrating with example means the selection and presentation of the examples relevant to the concept or generalization or a mathematical or grammatical rules to be taught to the pupils so as to make it easier for them to understanding it. This is the definition about the illustrating with example. Here the selection and presentation of examples are very important, right? Selection and the presentation of the examples. Here two questions will be raised. One is what kind of example should be used in the classroom, right? So while selecting the example, so you have to think over what kind of example should be used in the classroom. And in the presentation, so how example should be presented in the classroom. It is very important. What kind of example should be used in the classroom? How should example be presented in the classroom? Here two questions will be arise. We have to search the answer for these two questions. Selection and presentation of the examples. These examples should be relevant to the concept. Whatever teachers have taken the concept or abstract ideas or generalization, so presentation should be relevant to the concept, and the selection of the example also it should be relevant to the concept. While we are selecting the different various examples and presenting the effective manners in the classroom, because of to teach or convey the meaning of the concept to understand for the students. For understanding purpose, we will select the various type of examples in the classroom, and we will present the examples in the systematic manner in the classroom to understand for the student. It is the main purpose of using the examples in the classroom, right? And here these skill illustrating with example. Illustrating with examples, the very important. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನವನ್ನ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಮ ಅಥವಾ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಘಟನೆಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಮೂರ್ತ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯೀಕರಣ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And next, the skill of illustrating with example is a very okay. Yes, the skill of illustrating with example is very important. Is take the learners from known to unknown. Always this skill illustrating with example take the learners from known to unknown. Right? Simple to complex. Right? Then these skills, the illustrating with examples, involve the principles of securing and sustaining the attention of people, and it creates the interest among the student. It is the main principles of the skill of illustrating with the example. Sustain and secure the attention throughout the lesson is very important. Teachers in the skill of illustrating with example using the secure and sustain the student attention. And the teacher should create the interest in the lesson. She has to create the interest in the lesson. So that is why teacher should have the knowledge or should aware of the importance of creating the interest and secure the attention throughout the lesson. For that purpose, teacher has to use the various examples. That example should be suitable to the students. Then only the lesson will be created interest, so that teachers can sustain their attention and secure their attention throughout the lesson. Because the teachers, lesson should not be bore to the students, right, and tedious to the students. So in order to create in a classroom, teacher has to use the different or various examples. That example should be suitable to the student. Suitable to the student, right? Next one. And so this the skill of illustrating with example having the two purposes. Two purposes. It involves two purposes. One is the clarification of the concept. The first purpose is clarification of the concept or abstract ideas or lesson, right? Another purpose is verify the students' understanding levels, because so it is not a matter of clarifying the concept, as well as teacher has to verify the how students have understood the concept. That is also very important. So that's why the skill of illustrating with examples involves the two purposes. One is clarifying the concept. Another one is verifying the students have already followed the concept or not. This purpose, to meet these two purposes, we are using the different components. Can you tell me about the skill of illustrating with example? What we have understood? Please, any one of you?
Citing examples.
Citing example.
Yeah. Tell me properly why we are using examples.
To facilitating learning and clearing the concept.
Making the concept
Clear the concept.
to make it
To clear the concept, ma'am.
Yeah, to clear the concept. And what is the definition of illustrating with example? Tell me that the definition of illustrating with examples. Yeah, tell me the definitions. We learned in the last class, no? to make it easier for them to understand it. Clear? Okay. So all the examples may be drawn from the previous experience of a student. Clear? Then apart from this we have learned the principles. The skill of illustrating with example involves the principles. What are the principles the skill of illustrating with examples have? You learned it in the last of the yeah. Sir. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So the skill of illustrating with examples involves the two principles. The one is sustain and secure the attention of the students. Sustain and secure the attention of the student and create the interest towards the class. Right? So create the interest in the classroom. Because our teaching should not be tedious to the students. To create interest in the lesson, teachers should aware of the previous experience of the student and the importance of securing and sustain their attention towards the class. And what about the purpose of process of the illustrating with examples? Purpose of illustrating with examples? Already I told you and I discussed with that. Yeah, so yes, I think you didn't get it because last moment I did it. The purpose of this is to clarify the concept and verify the levels, understanding levels of the students. Right? The illustrating with example involve the two purposes. One is clarifying the concept and verify the how students have already understood or followed the concept. Right? Now clear, no? Yeah. So teachers not only clarify the concept. So apart from clarify the concept, teacher wants to verify the understanding levels of the child. So that is why teachers will use the skill of illustrating with example in classroom situation. Clear, students? In order to meet these purposes, right? In order to meet these purposes, clarify the concept and verify the understanding levels of the student, teachers will use the different components or examples. So all the examples should have the good characteristics. That kind of example will be used in the classroom. Now let us learn about the different components. These components, so based on the good characteristics of the examples. This kind of example formulating in the classroom to clarify or to make the concept easier to understand for the student. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಮೂರ್ತ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುವಾಗ ಕೆಲವು ಬಾರಿ ವಿವರಣೆ ನೀಡೋದು ಸಾಕಾಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಿದೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಾಳೆ ನೋಡುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಅಂಶವನ್ನ ಇದು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಬರೀ ಕೇವಲ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ನೀಡಿ ವಿಷಯ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಯಾವ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Now let us go to the different components of the illustrating with the example. Now we'll go through all the 5 components will be used in the illustrating with the examples. So I have displayed here the formulating simple examples and formulating interesting examples and formulating relevant example and using appropriate media for example and using appropriate approach. Clear students? These are the 5 components are using in the presenting the examples in the classroom. Our selection of the examples relevant to the concept. We are using these 5 components. One is example should be simple, and second one is example should be interesting to the students, and third one the example should be relevant to the concept, and fourth one for developing the examples, so teacher should use the appropriate medias, and fourth one, so in the presentation purpose teacher has to use the appropriate approaches in the classroom. These are the different components in the skill of illustrating with examples. Now let us go to learn one by one. Clear students? You should answer clear. Okay, next. ಇದು ಘಟಕಾಂಶಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಗಳ ಘಟಕಾಂಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೆಯದು ಸರಳ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು, ಎರಡನೆಯದು ನಿಯಮ ಅಥವಾ ಭಾವಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿರುವುದು, ನಿಯಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿರುವಂತ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸುವುದು. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸುವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳು ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳ ಬಳಸೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಘಟಕಾಂಶವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಿಧ ಮಾದರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸಲು ಅಥವಾ ಮಂಡನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲು ನಾವು ವಿವಿಧ ಮಾದರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳು ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕ್ರಮ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾದರಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಘಟಕಾಂಶಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಂಡನೆಗೆ ಈ 5 ಘಟಕಾಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. The first one is formulating simple examples, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಳ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು. Right? Why? The formulating simple example, in the simple example help the students in understanding the concept or the generalization. Right? So this simple example help the teachers to convey the meaning to the students. It will be easy to understand by the students. It helps in understanding the concept by the student. Because simple, the word of simple is doesn't have a absolute meaning. You should know that. Simple, the word of simple doesn't have a absolute meaning. It is a relative term. example. An example which is the simple for 10th standard students may not be simple for the 7th standard students. An example which is the simple for the 7th standard students of the urban area school, and the same example may not be simple to the same age of the urban area students. Similarly, an example which is the simple for same grade of the people of the one country, so they may not be simple for the same age grade of the students of in another country because of cultural differences. Because of cultural differences. So that is why while formulating example, simple example, teacher has to consider the age level of the students and grade levels of the students and maturity levels of the student as well as the geographical area of the student, because everything will be the different from the person to person, area to area, grade to grade. So that teacher has to consider these factors while formulating these simple examples. Always simple example, so is a help to the individual and make simplicity in the concept. So after giving the example, how can you tell you that the example is simple to the student? How can you tell you that? How can we ensure that? Yes, tell me. How can we ensure that after giving the example, how can you judge that? This is simple to the students. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, through the response of the students, correct response, not a response. Correct response indicator of the simplicity in the classroom. Right? What else? What else?
When the students start giving the answer, relevant answer to your question.
Yeah, definitely. Participation of the process. Teaching learning process. Participation also, it is an indication. It is an indication of a simple example. So we can confirm that this is a simple because students are answering to my question. And actively they are participating in the process, teaching learning process. They are giving the correct answer. They have a eagerness. They have an interest in the classroom. Through that we can ensure that the example will be the simple to the students. Right now, clear this concept? Is it clear or not? Clear? Yeah. So while then formulating the example, so example should be simple to the students. So it based on the students' experiences, previous experiences. So that is why we should consider the age level, grade level, maturity level of the student, and geographical areas of the students and their cultural levels. Then only it will be easy to students also as well as for teachers also convey the meaning to the student. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಳವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ರೂಪಿಸಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಳತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ, ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಲಂಬಿತ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಳತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಸರಳ ಆಗಿರೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಸರಳ ಆಗಿರೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂಡ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ದೆಮ್. ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಹೇಗೆ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇದು ಸುಲಭ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಈ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಂತ? ಅವರು ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಉತ್ತರಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಹೇಳಿ. ಎಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ. Yeah, I am asking to the Kannada students, even they have to answer to my question. No, you are active.
How much you have to understand? You ask feedback.
Yes. No Kannada students here. No Kannada students. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ಈಗ ಸುಲಭ ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಓ, ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು
ಕೃಷ್ಣವೇಣಿ.
ಕೃಷ್ಣವೇಣಿ ಹೇಳಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹೌದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಲಭ. ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಲಭ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಓಕೆ. Okay, so we go to the next components. Next components is formulating interesting examples. ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು. Then formulating interesting example means an interesting example is the one which arouses the pupil's curiosity and interest. If you use the interesting examples, whatever the students likes, whatever students demands, whatever students have interest, so that kind of example used in the classroom, definitely that example arouses the pupil curiosity and we can create the interest in the classroom. Right? So an interesting example secures and sustains the pupil's attention. Right? So interesting example can be secure and sustain the attention of the students throughout your lesson. Right? So with these the interesting example play an important role in the pupil learning. Definitely, if you use the interesting example, student will be there in the class very interestingly. Then they participate eagerly in the classroom. Right? They have the gain the knowledge also through with the interest. And teachers while formulating interesting examples should always take into consideration the age level, grade level and levels of maturity of the people, because the interest, the term of interest also it doesn't have the absolute meaning. Interest, this also relevant term, relative term. This is the relative term. An example which is the interesting to the 5th grade students may not be interesting to the 10th standard students. Right? So an example which is the interesting to the rural area students may not be interesting to the urban area students, because their culture and tradition and social environment, everything will be the different. So that is why while formulating the example, teacher has to consider the age level and maturity levels of the students and geographical areas of the students. So then only it will be easy to formulate the examples to the students. students to clarify the concept. Right, students? So this also, how can you ensure that this is an interesting example, whether or not? How can you ensure that? How can you, judge this? Yeah, attentive behavior, by judging attentive behavior. If you have the, or if you give the interesting example, students will attentively listen your lesson. They definitely, so it creates the curiosity in the classroom among the students. Through that you can assess, you can ensure that the example very interesting to the students. They will very sit quiet and they listen your lesson, and it create the interest also. We can make out on their face, on their behavior, on their and body language also we can sustain that, isn't it? ಇಷ್ಟ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? So while formulating, interesting example should be presented so to the students. It should be interesting to the students. ಸರಳ ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಳ ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಅವಧಾನವನ್ನ ಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವರ ಏಕಾಗ್ರತೆಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹಿಡಿದಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ನಿಖರವಾದ, ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟವಾದ, ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾದ ಒಂದು ಎಸ್ Yeah, I will give you that. After this completion of this, I will give you the one example. With the help of that example, I will clarify all the components. Okay? I will give you that. Yes, students. Yeah. Oh, load. ಓಕೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೌಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ Shall I remove it? Now okay? Yes, now okay, no? Yes?
Without the ear telling, the earphone without the really now. A little slowly, ma'am, it will be better.
Now okay, now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Is it okay? Okay. Right. Yes, student. ನನ್ನ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಅಂದಾಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅವರ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೆರಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ಅವರ ಏಕಾಗ್ರತೆಯನ್ನ ಸೆಳೆದಿಡಬೇಕು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ವಯಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಆಧಾರವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಪ್ರೌಢಿಮೆ, ಅವರ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತಿಕೆ, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವ, ಪೂರ್ವದ ಅನುಭವದ ಮೇಲೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So now clear, we'll go to the next components of the illustrating with the example, which is the formulating relevant example. The third component is the formulating relevant examples. ನಿಯಮ ಅಥವಾ ಭಾವಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸುವುದು. Next. Right? So here an example is relevant when it is related to the concept being explained. Right? So whatever you are using the example to clarify the concept or make easier to understand for the concept, it should be relevant to the concept. Right? So an example help people to understand the concept. Relevant example help the students understand in the system. concept. On other hand, if you use the irrelevant example, so irrelevant example, so distract the pupil's attention, and it leads the confusion among the student. It makes the confusion among the student. Right, so that is why if we using the example, that example should be relevant to the concept. It should not, confuse the students and distract their attention. If you want to sustain, secure their attention, you have to give the relevant example to the concept. So this also we can judge it how it is relevant. ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದಂದ್ರೆ so to be relevant to a concept or rule when the concept or rule can be applied to it. Right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ರೂಪಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಂಬಂಧ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ಆ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪೂರ್ಣ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ನೀಡುವಂತದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ examples are very important. So these kind of examples should be select in the skill of illustrating with example to illustrate the concept to the student. To illustrate the concept or abstract ideas to the students for understanding purpose. So you should use the simple example and the example should be relevant and example should be interesting to the students. These kind of examples should be used. Now let's go to the next components. Fourth components. Till here we have learned the meaning, purpose and definitions and principles of the skill of illustrating with example and the types of example we have learned. Now let's go to the next components of that using appropriate media for presenting the examples. For developing the examples or for presenting purpose, so we have to use the different media. Right? Here examples can be classified based on the media. Based on the media. Either verbal media and non-verbal media. Right? Now let us go to learn verbal media and non-verbal media. So how these verbal media and non-verbal media involved in the development of examples in the classroom. Right? Here in this exam, verbal and non-verbal media should be appropriate to the student. This is the appropriateness of a media. It should be appropriateness of refer to the suitability. Suitability to the age level, grade level, maturity level and the unit thought. These kind of example, media should be used while developing the examples in the classroom. Either we can use the verbal media or non-verbal media. Now let's see that verbal media. Right? So verbal media includes the giving analysis and the storytelling. Right? Giving the media. These can be used for developing the example. For developing the example. Right? For example, a teachers want to explain about the concept of honesty. Right? So, the word of honesty can be clarified while telling the story of honesty boy. If you tell the story about the honesty boy or honesty woodcutter, story of honesty woodcutter or Satya Harishchandra, right? If you tell this story to convey the meaning of honesty, the word of honesty, this will be the appropriate to the concept and to the students. This is the appropriate, especially in the age group of low and primary level. So this media is, if you tell the story, it will be more concrete to the students. They can learn easily, they can understand very fast also, and students can create the interest in the storytelling. With the story, they can learn the concept of honesty. Orally, without using of any non-verbal media, effectively teachers can describe the concept. And analysis can be used with the orally, without using any non-verbal media. Teachers can use in the form of story. Analysis can be used in the form of story. For example, teachers want to teach about the divide and rule in the context of British rule. In the context of British rule, divide and rule, teachers can tell the or give the analogy in the form of story of two cats, a monkey. Two cats and a monkey. So you all heard that two cats and a monkey story. So how the piece of bread divided into two, and how the monkey ate every piece of bread, and finally the cats didn't get any small piece of the bread. So likewise, in the divide and rule and British rule, I mean the country. So you can give the such kind of analysis in the form of story. It will be more authentic than non-verbal media. Right? Without using any kind of non-verbal media, teachers can convey the meaning, convey the concept or generalization of the lesson in the use of verbal media. Verbal media also it is a effective media. You can use it in the classroom to convey the or illustrate the concept to the student. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? Understood? Understood? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? Yeah, tell me. Previous slide. Which one? This one? This one? Yeah, take those. We have to use the appropriateness of the media. Then appropriateness refer to the suitability to the age level, grade level and the maturity levels and to the unit taught. Right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಶಾಬ್ದಿಕ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮತ್ತು ಅಶಾಬ್ದಿಕ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಅಂತ ಎರಡು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಳಕೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ which one? Third ಹಿಂದಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ. This one? Third point. whatever we have taken, for example, if you want, if you want to teach about the, physical changes, right, or chemical changes, whatever we are taking the example, that example should be suitable to the physical changes or chemical changes. So, for example, if you want to teach about the noun, right? So, if you want to teach in the language of grammar. Isn't it? Is it clear? Yes or no? Yeah. So go to next. Yeah, media is understood now. Non-verbal media. Verbal media. Verbal media can be used to describe the concept effectively. So by telling the story, or by giving the analysis, and by using the comparison, and by using the what is the simile, right? You can use it so to describe the concept or convey the meaning of the concept. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ, ಅದು ಇದು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನಮ್ಮವ್ರನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎತ್ಕಾಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರು ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಅನಾಲಜಿನ ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಬೆಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಕೋತಿ ಹತ್ರ 2 ಪೀಸ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ನ ಇವು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗದೆ, 1 ಪೀಸ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ನ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗದೆ ಆ ಕೋತಿ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಕೋತಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು 2 ಭಾಗ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಿನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವೆರಡು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೇಳಕ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು 2 ಬೆಕ್ಕುಗಳು, ಆ ಬೆಕ್ಕುಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪೀಸು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. 3ನೇವನಿಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಅಂದಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಭ ಯಾಕಾಯ್ತು? ಲಾಭ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಕೋತಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಅನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಅಂತ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿದಾಗ, ಹೌದು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ತಂದಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಜಗಳ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಾವೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಈ ಇಬ್ರು ಸಮನಾಗಿ ಹಂಚ್ಕೋಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಆ ಕೋತಿ ಹತ್ರ ನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಹತ್ರ ನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಳಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ and to the students, especially to the lower levels of the student. And in the higher levels of students also, this media, verbal media is more effective, and without giving the any story and all, we can give the explanation to the students with the help of comparison, because students are mature enough to imagine the concept. They have matured enough to imagine the concept. So that is why without using of any non-verbal media, teachers can teach the concept to the students. No need to use any non-verbal media. So because they are having the maturity level and mature, they have the knowledge, enough knowledge to imagine the concept. So that is why without using of non-verbal media, you can do the example to the student. Now let's go to the non-verbal media. Shall we go to the non-verbal media? ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಾನ ಬಳಸಲೇಬೇಕು. ವಿತೌಟ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಐದರ್ can be used verbal media or you can use the non-verbal media. So So verbal media without using of any kind of non-verbal media, it is completely related to the oral description, oral presentation. Clear? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ oral media ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆಯಾ? Yes or no? Fast. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಕನ್ನಡದವರಿಗೆ? ನಾವು ಬಳಸುವಾಗ ಮೌಖಿಕ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಕತೆ ಹೇಳುವುದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ, ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವುದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ, ಅಲಂಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ, ದೃಷ್ಟಾಂತಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಿಷ್ಟತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಮೂರ್ತ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯನ್ನ ಸರಳಗೊಳಿಸಿ ತಿಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ವರ್ಬಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ, ಮೌಖಿಕ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ. ಮೌಖಿಕ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದಟ್ ನಾನ್ ವರ್ಬಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ. Right? So non-verbal media includes the objects, models, pictures, diagrams, maps, sketches, and experimental demonstrations. Many are there nowadays. Many are there, right? So you can use any media while presenting the examples or for developing the examples. So now object, media. So object, you all know that it is a real one. So real one. Real things can be used as examples. We can use it. Real things can be bring to the classroom. If you show the students, so it will be more authentic and it will be effective to the students to learn the concept. For example, I will show you the one example. Right? This is the real one. This is the real one.
Go to my profile ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ನನ್ನ
ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್.
ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ವಾ?
ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಈಗ go to the profile ಅಮ್ಮ.
My profile.
Have seen this? Are you observing this? This is the next. Have seen this? This is the real one. This is the real one. So, if you want to teach about the birds, nest of the birds, if you bring this kind of real object, it will be more concrete to the classroom situation. See? Bird nest, ma? Tailor bird itself. Tailor bird. You have seen this? So how it is made? It's very small bird. This is a very small bird. A small bird prepared this nest. How beautifully is prepared it. So how nicely is ಹೊಲ್ದಿದೆ.
Means yarn.
Natural only. It is natural and real one. So if you show this kind of example in the classroom, it will more benefit for the students. They can touch it, they can feel it, they can see properly that. Close observation will be there, right? So this kind of example can be used in the classroom as an examples. For example, if you want to teach about the parts of the branch of the tree, you can bring the branch to classroom. Small branch can be bring to the classroom. And petals of the flower, you can bring the petals flowers to the classroom to show the students. It will be more concrete and it will be more benefit for the students. So you can use that kind of example for developing the examples in the classroom. Clear? Okay? And the next models. Models, you are aware of that. Models are it is especially prepared for the studies. Prepared things to learn, and it is a replica of the real one. Models are replica of the real object, and it has all the necessary characteristics of a real one. It should have all the necessary characteristics of a real one. Now I will show you the things. Have seen this? Art. So if you use this kind of example, it will be more concrete and more benefit for the student. If you use this kind of example, it is create an interest, and it is simple to the student also. Right? Right? Yes or no? Yeah. It is relevant to the concept of work. So if you integrate the art model, so if you use this model to close observation for the students, it will be more benefit, and students will be the very interesting in the classroom. You can sustain and secure their attention towards the class, and you can create the interest in the class also, isn't it? So likewise you can use the models. I will show one more model here. See students, this is the model.
Come to my profile ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Come to my profile. Have you come? Yeah, this is the human digestive system model. So they can touch it, right? You can't touch, but I can touch.
Because you are a virtual student now.
Right? Okay, students, I am touching here. But the real one, it is not possible in the class. If you want to teach about the, structure of art, teacher cannot take out his art to the classroom. If you want to, study about the eyes. So teacher cannot take out his eyes to the classroom. Instead of that, teachers can use the models of eye. So it will be the more benefit, and the closer observation will be there in the models. Student can observe. Students can touch it. Students can understand with the interestingly. Clear? And now this is the, see, are you observing here? Yeah, this is the model. Your friends have made it. Yeah, this is the nature. Back up. Yeah.
Turn like ಈ ಕಡೆ
Hinga.
ಇದು ತೋರಿಸಿ. ಈ ಕಡೆ
Hinga. So have you seen this?
ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೇಲೆ.
Yeah, so if you made it, see students, if you want, right, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay, so trees are there, and the animals are there, and the house, everything. See how it is, animals. Giraffe is here. See, you can't bring the giraffe to the classroom. You can't bring the giraffe to the classroom, but you can bring as a model to the classroom. Right? Clear? So I will show one more.
ಗೆ ವೈಂಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ See students here, giving the correct only. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Are you observing? Are you observing? Yeah, this is the working model. If you Yeah, to give the clarity on the concept and the ideas. And one more model, this is also working model, right? Right now this is not working, this is also working model. Okay, these are the models, and if you want to glow, you can't bring the earth to the classroom. Instead of that, we can make use of the globe in the classroom. Write some pictures. Having observing here? Yeah, pictures. If you want to, explain about the concept, or if you want to use these pictures as an example, so you can use it. It is very beautiful and it creates the interest to the student, and it is simple to the students, right? It is relevant to the students' levels also, right? Next, see the nature. It's nice, yeah? And see,
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
you go to profile. So if you use this kind of charts and all, it will be more effective in the classroom. You can create the interest. It is simple and it is relevant to the concept only. See. Are you observing? And while doing grammar, see? Are you observing anything is here? Nothing. Now it will come. Yeah? See? Yeah? Observe. Now observe it. Now observe it. Yeah, this is a grammar chart. Agavasandi, very good. So while teaching of this grammar, so you can use this kind of charts to create interest in the classroom. This is simple to the students, relevant to the student, concept, right? And interesting to the students. Then it will come to the, see? Good, no? So student, we should show this kind of work. Definitely student will show, wow, they will express like this. Isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, students only, your friends did it. When we will come to the college, we will teach you how to prepare all these things. Right? Got it? Hazim.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
When is the college opening, ma'am?
ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತು
Got it now? Got it? Yeah, wait, one more. See students, this is the English. Yeah, so you have to make it this kind of teaching aids while presenting the episodes. Okay, now we'll go to the next concept. Now you have and the tables also you can use it, and the diagrams and sketches and maths also you can use in the teaching of science and mathematics and what is that geography and language. So we can make use of this media to teach all the subjects. Teachers can write on the blackboard and teachers can draw on the blackboard everything, so to give the effective lesson in the classroom. Now clear? Yes students, is it clear? Yeah. Now we learned about the skill, illustrating the example meaning, definition, purpose, right? Definition, right? And principles and different kinds of example, simple, interesting and relevant to the concept. And for developing these examples, so we have to use these media, verbal media or non-verbal media. Then we will come to the last one, last concept, last components, which is the use of appropriate approaches. Now we learned that what kind of example, clear? What kind of example can be used in the classroom? No. Simple, relevant and interesting. Simple, relevant and interesting examples. Yeah. So what are the things can be for developing these examples? What we should use? Media. So which are the media? Verbal media and non-verbal. Now let's come to the presentation purpose. Already we learned what kind of example should be used. We got it the answer. So another question will be the how should example be presented in the classroom? Right? Now we have come to the presentation purpose. So there are approaches, way of presentation. So now the use of appropriate media, approaches, I think you all learn in your classroom in the study of methods, right? Teaching of methods. In all the methods they have that approaches or methods, right? So question and answer method and deductive approach, deductive method, inductive method, deductive method. You have learned it, no? Yeah, just I brush up. Already you have learned the different approaches or different methods. Now let's once again I brush up these approaches. So here basically there are two approaches while teaching a concept. So with the help of an example we use the inductive approach and the deductive approach. We can use the two approaches. It is basically two are there. One is the inductive approach, another one is the deductive approach. Yeah, ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳು Okay, so you learn it now, inductive and deductive. Next one, we'll go to the inductive approach. So inductive approach, according to the inductive approach, so what teacher has to do in the beginning? Can you tell me that? ಅನುಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಟೀಚರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Yeah, so your teachers will give the lot of examples, right, derived from the students or concept. It is a inductive approach. Inductive approach. It start with the example, end with the generalization. Generalization or state the rule or concept, right? So, deductive approach. Deductive approach. So, what teacher has to do in this approach? Yeah. So, teachers state the concept or rule or generalization. Based on generalization, teachers will come to the collecting example or by giving the example or by eliciting the example. So, all the example based on previous experience of the students. By the previous experience of the student, teacher should know the student's background. By eliciting the example or by giving the example or collecting the example, teacher should know the background of the student. Then only it is possible. Easily students will give. Then the example will be the simple and interesting and relevant to the concept. Right? So here, you have learned inductive approach and deductive approach. You got it now? Is it clear? Okay. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಗಮನ ನಿಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅನುಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಏನು ಅನುಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಕನ್ನಡ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬೇಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಗ್ರಹಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಯಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಅನುಮಾನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನಿಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಯಮದಿಂದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ನಿಯಮದಿಂದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ನಿಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ in the ಅನುಗಮನ ಪದ್ಧತಿ, in the inductive approach, teacher can clarify the concept. Teachers can clarify the concept. Or the teacher cannot verify the concept in the inductive approach. Are you clear? In the inductive approach, teachers can clarify the concept with the help of example, and teachers cannot verify the students' understanding levels are really understood the concept or not. But in the deductive approach, teachers will clarify the concept. Teachers will clarify the concept because teachers will start with the statement or start with the rule and with the generalization. Then teachers will come to the example. Based on the study of the rule or generalization, teacher will take the example from the students on the basis of based on generalization. Based on generalization, teachers will take the example from the student. So, in the deductive approach, two teachers can clarify the concept. In the inductive, teachers can clarify the concept in the inductive approach. In the deductive approach, verify the concept. But these two are having its own merits and demerits also. So that is why we have to take the another one. It is a combined approach. So it is called as a inductive deductive approach. Clear? See, our teachers can clarify the concept and verify the understanding levels of the student. Both can be reached. The purpose of the illustrating with example. Purpose of illustrating with example is clarify the concept and verify the understanding levels of the student. But we can fulfill with using using the inductive deductive approach. Clear, students? Yes or no? Yeah. Here teachers will start with the example and study about the example, and they'll come to the rule or generalization. Then again, based on generalization or rule, teacher will take the example from the students. Now teacher can clarify the concept. Verify the students' understanding. Now clear? Yes or no? So I'll show one chart. Next. Next one. Other one. See students, here you see that inductive approach. Start with the inductive approach. Teacher initiate and elicit the related example from the people's experiences to clarify the concept, and then stating of the concept or rule. It is people do this by studying the examples, and then teachers will come to the last one, deductive approach. Teacher elicits the example from the people to verify their understanding of the concept or the rule. People give their own experience and own examples. Then give the own examples. Give their own example. So you can clarify with this slide. Got it? Got it? ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದರ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳನ್ನ ಓದಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿ, ನಿಯಮವನ್ನ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ನಿಯಮವನ್ನ ಬರೆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಂದ ತಗೋತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. Clear, students? Next we'll go to next slide. Can you hear this slide? Is it clear? Is it clear? See, this is the episode for that. Okay? See, here teachers will take next ಹೋಗಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕದು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೊಡಿ. So is it clear? See, here teachers will take the matchbox. Right? Teachers will call the students to and burn the matchsticks. What students will do? What students will do? Yeah, definitely. Then teachers will ask the question. See, this is the one of the episode for the illustrating with the example. This is the there in the deductive approach. Sorry, inductive approach. Inductive approach. First, teachers will start with the example. Matchbox she has taken. After that, teachers has take the wood. Right? So here teacher has taken two examples to clarify the concept of chemical changes. Chemical changes. Right? With the help of examples, teachers will take the answer from the students only. Yes, students, yes or no? So, yeah, here teacher has taken the example, right? And all the example elicited by the students, right? its composition change is called chemical changes. Teacher has come to the conclusion or rule or statement or to the generalization with the help of all these examples. Now got it? So understood? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹಾಕಿ. Shall I go to the next one?
Next one,
Huh?
then
This is also one of the episode. I will send through the WhatsApp or things, ma. Shall I go to the next one? Shall I go to next one? Yes or no? Pardon? Yeah. Even I don't have time also. Even I feel that. But what to do? So I will complete this. So another 5 minutes I'll take to complete this. So you have understood now. If you have understood right now, I'll stop it. Huh? Because you should. But only the intention of this is.
video recording.
Then see student some suggestions, and I have to tell about this thing. No, what is that? Observation schedule. You don't want observation schedule. Yeah. I can understand. So another 5 minutes. See some suggestions. So here use of simple illustration. You should use the simple illustration or example, and relevant example should be used it, and exact and accurate examples. So you should not distract their attention, and you should not lead the confusion among the students. So that much accuracy should be there in the using the illustration, and avoid use of too many illustrations. You should not use more than 10 illustrations or more than 8 examples in the classroom, because we are going to teach about only 45 minutes. So within 45 minutes teachers can give the 8 examples. So more than 8 should not be given, but it is hectic to the students to understand, to keep in their knowledge. And proper handling, but you should be handy. You should not buy auto to carry the teaching aids and lorry to carry to the teaching aids to the classroom. You should not be like that, and so you should be handy. ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕು. And economic also. So ತುಂಬ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿದು 5,000 6,000 ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಏಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಬಟ್ you should be very economically that balance. And interesting illustration. You should be interesting to the students, and avoid the technical languages. So why we are using the example? To make the concept simple and easier to understand for the student. If you use the difficult word and the technical language, so again it creates the difficult to the students for understanding. So that is why while formulating the example, so you should avoid the technical language. And well prepared illustrations. It is very important, especially using the records and all. So you should be very careful, and you should stick on to that only. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. So timings should be fixed, and within the time and within the durations you should try to present examples in the classroom. And a timely presentation. ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, when you are going to present the example, so in that time only you should present after the completion of all the lesson, or in the beginning only. You don't use that. So when it is necessary and demanding the example, that only you have to use the examples. Next. Okay, so in conclusion, so in the light of this components, the skill of illustrating the example can be defined as using simple, relevant and interesting examples, using appropriate media through inductive-deductive approach. Clear? Everything is there. So that should be simple and relevant, interesting example. example using the appropriate media through inductive deductive approach. Clear? Now let's go to that observation schedule. Last one in the code. See students, this is the instructions to observe the lesson. So here there are columns have given to them. Are you students? Are you there? Yeah. So you listen here, but this is a very important. While demonstration class will going, so you have to be observe the lesson and you should make the mark also. So that is why better to understand this observation schedule. Clear? Yes or no? You should tell me that. So here column have given in the next slide. So it is related to the components. It will be based on the components we have made the columns. The skill of illustrating the example. You have to tick against that column. So for example, serial number is here. So how many how many examples? Pardon? Previous control. Okay, so only for instructions because you are not in the face-to-face things, no. So that is why I am giving this instruction. So you have to put the tick mark. If it is interesting the lesson, against that column you should put the tick mark. If it's not simple or interesting or relevant to the concept, you should put the cross mark against the examples, right? And through appropriate media also. If it is verbal media, you have to write against that column or the example. Verbal, if it is verbal media, you should write BM. And if it is verbal media, you should write the P. And finally, you should write the approach. Whether it is inductive approach or deductive approach or inductive deductive approach, you have to write in the last. Got it? So here the columns, serial number is there. In the serial number, you have to put the number of the examples. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 example or 5 example, 6 example can be taken. But we are going to for presenting within a 6 minutes. So within a 6 minutes we can go for the 4 example. 4 examples are the maximum only. Because within 6 minutes we have to clarify everything. So that is why you have to mention 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And simple, if it is simple, first one simple, you should tick mark. Otherwise you should tick the cross. And the relevant example, if it is relevant, put the tick or cross mark. And interesting, tick or cross mark. And media, approach, and verbal media or non-verbal media. VM or NVM, you have to write in this approach. Approach, you can't write in each question, each example. So finally you have to write, after observing all the examples, in which approach teacher has used to present the paper, one approach will come to the one presentation. Clear? Yes or no? Whether it is inductive approach or deductive approach or inductive approach, inductive deductive approach, better to use the inductive deductive approach. Examples to illa, example only. Example, generalization and example taken by the students. So better to use the inductive deductive approach while presenting the illustrating with example. Inductive deductive. So already I have showed that example. This thing, no? One episode. Yeah, start with the example. This is the inductive approach. I'll start. So first teachers will collect the example. Okay. So now we are going to the demonstration on this skill. After this, I will give the break. After the break, we will give the demonstration on this skill. Okay? Clear? Clear, students? So, inductive deductive approach, teachers will start with the example. Based on the example, teachers will state the generalization or rule. Then teachers will take the example from the students after understanding of the generalization or rule. Okay? Are you clear? Yeah, ma, we are giving the demonstration on this skill. Then you will come to know. When we are giving the demonstration, that time will clear the concept and clear the doubt. Okay? So now after this break, I am going to give the demonstration in the language of Kannada, and yes sir madam will give you the demonstration in the English subject. Okay? In the rest of the subject, we'll display the, what is that? Episodes. And even though if you have any, doubts and clarification, so after the completion of demonstration and orientation of all the skills, we'll make the group for practice. That time we can clarify with the group teachers also. Otherwise, we can contact the, concerned teachers related to the concept. No problem, isn't it? So, whenever we have the doubts, you can clarify with me also and with your group teachers after making the group. Now, clear? So, yeah, madam will give the demonstration on the illustrating with the example. So that time if you have any doubts and any clarification required, you can clarify with the madam also. Isn't it? Yes. Any doubts? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me, Amma. Yes? In that observation schedule, no? Everyone have taken? Yeah. So, while giving the demonstration, you have to observe the lesson. Right? In the observation schedule, you have to tick whether it is relevant or simple or interesting to the students, and what media teacher are going to the using, and what approach she used presenting the lesson. Everything you have to in the observation schedule you should write it, ma. Are you ready? Everyone, irrespective of medium of instruction, and all the students, either English medium students or Kannada medium students, everybody should ready to observe the lesson. Right? Now it is so now the camera is not working, only audio. Audio presentation will be there. Right? You should stick on to audio presentation only. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now demonstration will be given in the Kannada subject. So after this, and Shamel Rizwana madam is giving the feedback. Kannada students ನಾವು ಕೇಳೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. And first ನಾನು ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಹನುಮಂತ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕೃಷ್ಣವೇಣಿ ದೀಪಕ್ No.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಸರಿ ಬಿಡಿ. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ.
ನಜ್ಮನಿಜಾ ನಜ್ಮನಿಜಾ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಾನು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾರು? ಕೃಷ್ಣವೇಣಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹನುಮಂತ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಕೇಳಂತ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂದ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಲಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆಲ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ and it is interesting and it is understandable by the students also. Even all the students can respond to my question. Is it clear? Okay. ಇವಾಗ ಪಾಠ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು 8ನೇ ತರಗತಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಬೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕಳ್ಳಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ
टीचिंग वेब का
Sticks, ma'am.
सर तुम्हारा क्या है
ವೇಟ್
ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ
I think this is the story related to great sticks.
Yeah, wait. The observations already you have observation children. So according from the beginning till end of the class, you should tell me the observations. Whether it is simple or not and relevant or interesting to the students and about the media and approaches. On the first, ಮೊದಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಮೊದಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಾವನ್ನ ಬಳಸಲಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಮೊದಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಓಕೆ. It was simple to the students. ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿತ್ತಾ? And interesting ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ? And then it was relevant to the concept? ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿತ್ತಾ? Okay, right. So go to the next one. Next one ಏನ್ ನಾವು ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು? ತ್ರಿನೇತ್ರಗಳು. ತ್ರಿನೇತ್ರಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿದ್ವಿ? ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? Either verbal or non-verbal?
It was non-verbal.
Non-verbal media we used, right? So it was simple to the students?
Yes.
And
ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ would have give the clue to the students. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ,
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೇತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ?
ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್? ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿತ್ತಾ? ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ? ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್? ಬಿಗು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಇರ್ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ? ನೋ. ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದು? ಪಂಚೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು. How was the pictures to that? Pictures ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು? ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ? ಪಂಚೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು? ಯಾ. ಸೊ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್?
Yes.
ಯಾ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್? Is it interesting?
Yes, ma'am.
And relevant to the concept, right? Now let's go to the last one. Which I have introduced that? Nalvadi Krishnaraja Vadiyar. Is it simple to the students?
ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೂ ಟು ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಟು ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಸುಲಭ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಏಡ್ ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನನ್ನ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅವರು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅದು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನಗಳಿಂದ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, their age and their subject, right? And based on their experience, previous knowledge, I have formulated the examples. Clear students? ನಾನು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ತಗೋತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. I would have taken another example for the science students, isn't it? So my target for the Kannada students, so that is why I have selected this kind of example to the presenting the lesson. Is it clear? Yeah. So all the 4 examples were simple, is it? ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿತ್ತ and interest ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ and relevant to the concept ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, right? So apart from this ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, so all are used by which media we used it? Non-verbal media. All the picture media I have used in the lesson while formulating the example. All the 4 examples I used only non-verbal media. Picture media I have used it, isn't it? What about approach? In which way I have presented the lesson? Which approach I used it? Approach.
Inductive ma'am.
First I gave the example. With an example I have come to the rule, right? So after the rule again I have collected the example from the students, isn't it? Are you clear? Inductive, which one? Inductive deductive approach we use it because so inductive approach start with an example, end with the rule or generalization. Deductive approach start with the rule or generalization, then end with the examples. But inductive deductive approach start with the example, then come to the rule or generalization. After that, base study about the rules, so they will come to the example. Again, they will collect the example from the student, right? And elicit the example by the students based on previous experience of the individuals or students. Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Now understood about these components? Yeah. So simple example, relevant example, and interesting to the student. It was interesting to the student. I used the non-verbal media while developing the example, and then through that inductive deductive I presented the lesson. Now you learn it now how to observe the lesson. Got it? ಕನ್ನಡ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿತ್ತು ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ